Welcome back to Flash University. On today's installment, the Vanguard 370 LED Marker Interface. For today's agenda, we will be covering the FAA circular changes, product background information, changes within the product, proper installation, and troubleshooting tips. We will be looking at two primary circulars today. The first one that I'd like to speak to you about is the FAA 7460 1L 1K. This has been revised to this AC 70 7460 1M. Under this circular, the standards for marking and lighting structures will be covered. Our next circular to focus on will be the FAA 5345 43J. This circular states how the manufacturer should build the lights to be used on the structure. And as always, you can review the documents by going to www.faa.gov/document library for more details. A statement was released and put into effect from the FCC on November 16, 2020. This is in regards to the standards used relative to objects in the navigational airspace. Please take note under FAA 70 7460 1M. On September 11, 2020, the FAA changed the specifications for LED-based red obstruction lights by integrating all LED lighting systems moving forward with IR. The fear is the misinterpretation of the overall tower height, which becomes potential when updated lighting systems or lights are mixed with legacy systems. This means that if a lower level light is running or using IR, then the top level light on a structure must be IR to keep a pilot from misinterpreting the overall tower height. Therefore, if a lower level marker or flashlight has been set to IR, you may have to change the top level light if it is not compliant to meet the 1M standards. The FAA released AC 150 53 45 43J, which affects all towers filed after September 11, 2020. Apart from specifying the addition of IR emitters to help visibility with MVG and VIS, the FAA also made changes to the beam profile of the LA10 markers and mandated the ability to detect 25% failure in both the red and the IR emitters. This has prompted changes to the Vanguard 370 obstruction lighting system. A new 372 marker to meet the beam profile, a new 3-conductor cable to be used with the markers. A new Marker Interface Board was needed to be released to be able to control these units, and an updated firmware for better control and performance. Following the changes made to the marker structuring, an advancement was implemented for the flash heads. Flash Technology has redesigned the flash head core board to support the addition of IR LEDs. Only the red core boards comply with the AC 5345 43J and AC 7460 1M. The prior black version is not 43J compliant. Please follow the guidelines when replacing a core board in the field. Always swap red for red or black for black. Never replace the red core board with a black core board. It will damage the beacon's IR LEDs and void the warranty. Failure of an IR LED cannot be detected by the naked eye and may not be immediately apparent. Never replace a black core board with a red core board. If the LED strings are not connected correctly, consequently, the light intensity may be lower than the FAA specified minimum. This would also cause monitoring operations not to be able to identify the IR capability of the flash head. Improper connections may result in white LEDs being activated in red night mode. This is a danger to pilots and violates the FAA directive against both red and white lights being energized at the same time. Following these product updates, the 372 marker has been third-party certified to AC 150 53 45J and has been listed in the minimum of AC 150 53 45 53D. This is the Airport Lighting Equipment Certification Program, which includes red LED emitters and IR LED emitters. The new 372 marker replaces the 371 marker in all FAA jurisdictions. Externally, the Marker 372 is identical to the Marker 371. It has the same form factor and the same number of conductors. The Marker 372 incorporates the third conductor sense wire in its operation to determine if the red or if the IR LEDs are working as mandated by the FAA. The incorporation of the sense wire has required a change with the marker cable used for this application. Instructions on wiring the new markers are detailed in the Quick Start Guide, which will ship with each marker. The mandate from the FAA to be able to detect 25% failure in either red or IR LED necessitated a change in the type of marker cable which is used by the Flash Technology 370 system. This is a cable containing 3 conductors and a drain wire. It replaces the previous cable which used 2 conductors and a drain wire. All existing part numbers and kits have been updated to include the new cable. While new to the Flash Technology 370 product line, this cable has been in operation with Flash Technology's 371 product line for several years and has proven its capability and longevity in the field. Please note that the new marker board is red and each Phoenix connector is a 4-pin. The older style boards, which were black, only have a 3-pin Phoenix connector. Upon the release of the new 372 Marker Interface Board, you will see that the board is red versus black. The 4-pin Phoenix connectors will be used for DC positive, DC negative, sense, and shield. The previous board, which was black, only used a 3-pin Phoenix connector. The newer style board is backward compatible, therefore it can be used with earlier installed LED markers. A 3-wire sense selector switch on the board can be turned to the on or off position to allow either the use of 371 or 372 markers. When used with 372 markers, the switch must be placed in the on or up position to ensure 43J compliance. If used with one or more 371 markers, the switch must be placed in the off or down position. The Marker Interface Board is also compatible with other legacy L810 markers supplied by Flash Technology. The 3-wire sense select switch will be toggled to the off position when using these markers. Please note the incorrect positioning of the sense switch will result in a marker alarm. Detailed instructions to install a Marker Interface Board in each configuration is illustrated in the Quick Start Guide, which ships with the product. A troubleshooting guide is also available to facilitate trouble-free installs. Firmware versions 3.0 and above have been written for the compliance of 43J. This allows the detection of individual markers in a tier. Once a marker has lost 25% of either the red or IR, it will turn off. It allows for the use of older style markers along with new style markers by toggling the sense switch to the proper position. 372 marker installation. These are set up for easy installation by not requiring conduit runs. They have a compact, lightweight design with versatile mounting options. Each marker has IR, which makes them compatible for the use of NVGs. Each marker weighs right at 1 pound and is 24 volts DC. During the installation process, please use these 4 easy steps. Step number 1. Open the access plate by loosening 2 captive screws enough to swing the cover open and remove the installed wire nuts. Step number 2. Feed the marker cable through the black cord grip and strip approximately 1/4 inch from the jacket of each conductor. Cut off the bare drain wire as this will not be used in the marker base. Step number 3. Using the supplied wire nuts and electrical tape, connect the 2 red wires together, the 2 black wires together, and 2 white-blue wires together. Step number 4. Carefully place the wires inside the marker base and close the access plate. Ensure the screws and the core grip are tight to prevent moisture intrusion. Please be sure to follow the color-coded guide when connecting the markers to the board. Test for 2.2 volts between DC negative and sense for proper connection verification. The 3-wire sense switch will be located near the upper center section of the board. This switch will control the sense monitoring options. For the 372 markers, this should be in the up or on position. For 371 markers or a combination of markers, the switch must be in a down or off position. The Marker Interface Board Troubleshooting Guide. For troubleshooting issues, please keep the following in mind. A few things to consider if errors occur while the installation process has gone underway. Number 1. By not connecting the sense wire or the sense switch being put in the wrong position. Number 2. An installer should always confirm proper installation while at the marker interface level. Number 3. By unplugging power to the marker board while the ground controller is powered on, this will result in marker alarms even if A to D values are good. Number 4. By hot plugging or swapping markers during troubleshooting, this will generate a marker alarm by turning off the marker output. This will show a reading of 0000 for your A to D values. For marker and marker board installation, please follow these steps. Step number 1. Verify that you have the red marker interface board. Step number 2. Verify that you have connected all 3 conductors inside the marker housing, red, black, and white blue. By using the newer style 3-conductor cable which houses a drain wire, the drain wire will not connect inside the marker housing, for this should be clipped off and only connected at the 4-pin Phoenix connector on the marker board. This drain wire is to prevent any impedance or electromagnetic interference of electronic signal on the data ports and lines. Note that if you have the cable which only houses a red, black, and drain, then the toggle switch will need to be in the down or off position. Step number 3. Verify which cable you have and make sure to have the cable which houses the red, black, and white blue with the bare shield wire. Step number 4. Connect each wire in the marker as shown. Step number 5. Connect the marker cable wires to the red marker interface board as shown. Please do not connect the shield or drain wire to any other conductors. Number 6. Verify that the 3-wire sense toggle switch on the marker interface board is in the on or up position. Please note, to comply with the 43J, the following must be confirmed. All installed markers must be 3-wire 372 markers, and the marker interface board 3-wire sense switch must be in the on or up position. The sense wire of each 372 marker must be connected and operating correctly. Verification steps to follow to confirm correct installation. Step number 1. Turn the system on and switch it to manual night mode. Step number 2. Set the markers to steady. Verify that the number of markers installed is the same per tier in the marker settings. Step number 3. Set your digital voltmeter to DC and measure the voltage between DC negative, your black conductor, and your sense wire, your white-blue conductor. Verify that the value is between 2.17 volts DC and 2.25 volts DC. Perform measurements for each connected marker. Step number 4. Verify that all marker alarm LEDs for connected markers on the red marker interface board are off or not flashing. If an LED is flashing or is steadily on, it indicates the white-blue sense wire connection error between the marker or marker interface board. Check connections to discover the source of the error. View the chart and note the changes of the A to D values which have occurred with a new rev. The voltage from DC negative on the marker pin to the sense should be 2.2 volts DC. If no wire is connected to the sense pin, the voltage should be 0. The only time that the sense switch should be in the on or up position is if all of the markers attached have the sense wire connected. If any of them do not have the white-blue wire connected, then the sense switch should be in the off or down position. This allows the use of the board for multiple types of markers. Once again, for more details, please reference the installation guide and your troubleshooting guide, which was sent with each marker kit. As always, please contact tech support at 1-800-821-5825, option 9, for troubleshooting needs and assistance.